Hi, it's Monday, it's time for Simply English, and I am Ileana Leca with you once more. Remember, every time we have some guests, and let me present my guest to you today. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, Miss.
And welcome back, Ayan.
Hi, Miss.
Lovely to see you. Now, last week we were talking about school, and Ayan told me how happy he is in his school. I love my school too. Now, Rebecca used to be in the same school that I am too. She is now at university. She's a student at university, but she's always been a top student. And today we'll still be talking about school. I'd like us to start by considering things that help students study for a test. For instance, Ayan, what do you do before a test? How do you prepare for a test?
First of all, I organize my study materials because I think that helps me a lot to organize the knowledge and to know exactly what I need and not to learn other useless information that I will probably not need on the test.
Excellent. If I'm not mistaken, this was top of your list when we were talking about study skills last week. Right. Now, Rebecca, you have such a lot of experience of taking tests throughout high school, but also the baccalaureate, which you took this summer. And then there was another great exam, a very important exam you took. What can you tell us about preparing for tests and exams? What should students do?
First and foremost, I think that creating a study schedule will help students with their process of learning. What I like to do is to plan ahead and allocate specific time slots for studying a subject or a topic.
Yeah, sometimes it could be overwhelming if you consider the time you have to study as well as the materials you need to organize. So it only makes sense to be self-disciplined in a way, but also very well organized. Yeah, very good point you've made. Okay, what else would you say helps you study?
I think breaking down the content, dividing the study material that I have to learn into manageable sections or topics, as I find it difficult to focus on multiple at a time.
I'm not multitasking myself, so yeah, focus, clear focus really helps. And gathering all your material, collecting everything that seems relevant is essential indeed. That may mean notes that you've been taking in class. It could mean the textbook that you're using for extra material, of course, but there are so many other resources that you can use. Ayan, can you help us with what other kind of resources you think we could use when we study, besides the notes we've taken in class and the textbook?
You could always use the internet as a study resource because you can basically find anything on the internet nowadays, so you'll definitely find exactly what you need there for being test.
Excellent. All right. What else would you add, Rebecca?
I think what I've learned through the high school years from my teachers is using active study techniques. They've helped me a lot through learning with the baccalaureate and also with other exams. It was a great choice to manage my learning.
And remember, Ayan, this is what we also mentioned last week as being one of those study skills, active study techniques. But what are these, you might be wondering? Well, on the one hand, summarizing everything you need to learn is a very good thing to do, and doing it in your own words. Because when you try to paraphrase something, to say it with different words, you actually internalize the information and you learn better. So this is one of the techniques that we call active study techniques. As well as that, you can use flashcards for key concepts And whenever you look at those, you try to remember the definition maybe, or a sort of explanation, or maybe examples that go with it. And it helps you, again, learn things. Using mnemonic devices to remember more complex information is also one of these active study techniques. Mnemonic devices means when you try to remember a succession of words by thinking of their initial letter and putting them together. So, I don't know, it sounds like a sort of abbreviation, using the first letter of each word, putting them together. It doesn't have to make sense. It just needs to help you remember words, mnemonics. And also, when you read information, if you try to come up with concept maps, or maybe charts, or diagrams, so trying to put everything in a very schematic way is what will help you remember more and more information. Yeah, that I would say is very important to try to do every time. And once more, I'm going to add something that I've been saying through these lessons. Repetition is the mother of everything. Try to revise constantly things you've learned, because by regularly visiting your notes or your summaries or things that you have previously learned, it will help remembering things when you're in that test or when you're taking that important exam. And I'll come back to you, Rebecca. What else do you think helps people achieve success in a test, in an exam?
I would say teaching someone else, maybe explaining to a friend some concepts that you've learned, or I don't know, some ideas in order for you to solidify the understanding of something. I would also say that using past tests or quizzes helps us identifying common themes and areas of focus. Another one would be the online resources. As Ian mentioned previously, we live in an era that learning is facilitated by the internet. We can find great study resources such as videos and tutorials that would definitely help us for our tests.
All right, if we can pause here for a while, because you've made very good points. Teaching somebody else, yeah, it's fun on the one hand to play the role of a teacher, but it's immensely helpful on the other one, because it helps you get the basics of what you need to pass on as information to somebody else. And this is when everything becomes clear to you. So yes, I do advise everyone to try this from time to time when you're studying. Of course, using past tests or past quizzes is also essential, because it helps you organize and manage your time. The way in which you, I mean, it's also essential to know what kind of things you're expected to know and to produce. So these are immensely important. And since you also talked about the internet, using the internet and resources, and you linked your idea to Ian's, very good point. I mean, a sort of question was lurking somewhere in my head, and I was meaning to ask Ian about it. Ian, how do you feel about using artificial intelligence when it comes to studying? I mean, there's been a lot of controversy around it. Would you use it?
Yes, I would, and I did once for a project at geography. I don't think artificial intelligence is really that dangerous, or you should not do your homework with it or need help by asking it some questions. Like, I definitely recommend using it, because it actually may help you. And it's a great advancement to humanity.
Okay. And this, of course, connects to this idea, finding online study resources. It could be videos, it could be tutorials, anything that's related to the topic you are studying for. Rebecca, would you like to add anything else?
Yeah, I think that discussing with your friends or fellow students is definitely helpful by engaging in study groups or just simple discussions in order for you to exchange insights and explanations. I think that's a great idea when it comes to learning.
Yeah, organizing study groups could be a great idea, or simply discussing this in very informal ways. And this, remember, is a very important skill as well when it comes to working in groups for projects. Okay? Maybe I can add one more. People may not find this the most important thing, but I do believe that it's important for us to be rested when we start studying and to stay hydrated. If we get enough sleep, we'll be more productive, so we'll be able to use our cognitive functions better. And this is what's also helped by drinking lots of water or enough water. Okay? As well as that, from time to time, we need to take breaks. Otherwise, everything becomes counterproductive. And by taking regular breaks and making sure that we are efficient about our learning, we also prevent burnout. It helps us concentrate and not lose our energy. Burnout means when we're too tired, we do too many things, we lose our energy, we can't do things anymore, and we eventually end up by not being able to do things like studying. All right?
I would suggest avoiding cramming. I've learned from my personal experience that trying to learn as much as possible in a short period of time isn't helpful at all, and it may be worse than not studying at all. You have to allow yourself organized study sessions over several days or even weeks before an exam.
Very interesting. Cramming means when you try to learn a lot of information in a very short period of time. Okay? I would add using sample questions, sample test questions, or practice tests as they are called, prepare us because we know what to expect. If they are available, yes, I do advise you to do so. And what I always promote with a smile on my face is staying positive, because maintaining a very positive attitude, boosting your self-confidence, reminding yourself of the fact that you have made progress is what will help you be successful in the end. And it's equally important that from time to time you do reward yourself for the effort you have made, because there might be longer or shorter study sessions, productive or maybe less productive, because our pace varies, but you do need to treat yourself to a very small reward to know that everything has been is worth it. And always try to minimize distractions. This is very important. During study sessions, maybe you could put your phone away. Maybe you could stay away from all sorts of distractions like the TV, the computer. Creating a quiet and also organized workspace is essential. In the long run, it will help you focus better. And of course, whenever you're studying, there might be questions, there might be things you don't understand. So it's also essential that you turn to somebody who knows a bit more than you do, ask questions, be that to peers or maybe to teachers, if you need clarification or if you need more information. It's only natural for us to ask questions when we don't understand things. And I do encourage you, as well as any of my students, to do that. And today we're going to learn about School, we're going to find out information about school in various parts of the world. We'll start with a short fragment in which we'll find out about how school is in Japan, but then we'll also travel to Denmark and Hawaii. As you listen to this information, I'd like you to make a note of 2 interesting or maybe even surprising aspects that you are told about when it comes to each country. That's why on the slides you'll see 1 and 2 next to each, actually under each country. I'm going to play the recording for you. So, general understanding to begin with, make a note of 2 things that you find surprising or interesting in each country.
In Japan, education holds significant importance. Children in Japan typically begin their formal education at the age of 6 when they enter elementary school, which lasts for 6 years. The school year starts in April and is divided into 3 terms. Classes usually begin around 8:30 a.m. and continue until 3:30 p.m., with a break for lunch and short recesses. The daily schedule includes a mix of subjects, ranging from core subjects like maths, science, and Japanese language, to art, music, and PE. Students are encouraged to participate actively in class discussions and group activities, enhancing their teamwork skills. The Japanese education system emphasizes self-discipline, respect for authority, and excellence. This approach aims to prepare students for future challenges and instills values that contribute to their overall development. Denmark. Schools in Denmark offer a unique and student-centered approach to education, prioritizing creativity, critical thinking, and social development. Children in Denmark typically start school at the age of 6, entering their primary level. The school year begins in August and is divided into 2 semesters. Classes generally start around 8 and conclude by 2 or 3 p.m., allowing for a shorter school day compared to many other countries. This approach values a balanced lifestyle and emphasizes the importance of free time for children's well-being. The curriculum includes core subjects such as maths, Danish language, and natural sciences, but it also places a strong emphasis on interdisciplinary projects that allow students to apply their knowledge creatively. Extracurricular activities, including sports, arts, and cultural clubs, play a significant role in Danish education, promoting a well-rounded development. Hawaii. Schools in Hawaii reflect the vibrant culture, diverse heritage, and unique environment of the islands. The educational system of Hawaii aligns with the US educational system, but it is influenced by local culture and values. Children in Hawaii typically start school at the age of 5 or 6, entering kindergarten and progressing through various grade levels. The school year in Hawaii usually begins in August and extends into June. The school day typically begins around 7:30 a.m. and concludes by 2:30 or 3 p.m. Students often benefit from the state's outdoor environment, with activities like PE and recess being held in the fresh air. Some schools even have programs that emphasize environmental conservation and appreciation for nature. Hawaii's unique geographical location allows for field trips and educational experience that connect students to their natural surroundings. From studying marine life to exploring volcanic landscapes, students have the opportunity to learn from the environment around them.
All right. So let's start with Japan. Ayan, what did you make a note of when it comes to Japan, schools in Japan?
First of all, that they start in April, which for me is very unusual.
Rebecca, would you like to add anything else about Japan?
The educational system emphasizes self-discipline from a young age.
Right, good. Students are advised to, they are taught to respect authority and create self-discipline. All right, we'll move on to Denmark. Rebecca, will you mention 1-2 things about Denmark?
Schools in Denmark prioritize creativity, and also the fact that extracurricular activities play a significant role in the education.
All right, creativity at the core of Denmark's education system. Let's move on to Hawaii. What did you make a note of when it comes to Hawaii?
They go and explore volcanoes on the islands. That really surprised me because you don't go and explore volcanoes every day, especially if you're a child. And the fact that they start very early at 7:30.
But so do we in some schools.
In some schools, but for me it's a little bit strange.
Rebecca, would you like to add anything else about Hawaii?
The educational system actually is influenced by local culture, which I find great.
And if you were to choose one of the three and attend classes for a week, where would you go, Ayan?
I will go to Hawaii.
Is it for the natural scenery that you can explore?
Most part, yeah.
Okay, and what about you, Rebecca?
I would go for Hawaii too.
All right, a very exotic place that attracts people. All right, and this is one more task, checking our understanding of what we've listened to. There are questions for us to answer, and we'll do that together. In which country, and we're talking about the three countries, Japan, Denmark, or Hawaii, is the school year divided into 2 semesters? Can you remember?
I would say Japan.
In which country does the school year start in April?
In Japan.
All right, it was a very surprising fact to you. In which school are interdisciplinary projects encouraged? So projects that bring together, yeah.
If I remember correctly, Denmark.
Denmark, right you are. In which country does school typically start at 7:30? Ayan knows it.
Hawaii.
Hawaii, right. In which country is the school year divided into 3 terms?
I think Hawaii.
A wild guess. We're going to check in just a second. And the last question is, in which country are field trips encouraged to help students connect with the natural surroundings?
Hawaii, I think.
Hawaii. Ah, right. Now, the answer to the first question was Denmark. Then, of course, Japan, as you mentioned. Denmark again for the third one. Hawaii, you are right about this one, as well as the 5th one. And Hawaii is the answer to the last one. If you've enjoyed information about school in different countries, I would like to ask you to research some more information about school, but maybe in different countries. And when we meet next time, I'd like you to tell me what interesting fact you found out. Thank you so much for joining me today, Rebecca and Ayan. Hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
As for everyone at home, thank you again for joining me. And remember to watch this on YouTube to enhance your learning. Until next time, bye-bye.